Welcome to today's online class, children. We are entering into the new chapter, that is Human Eye and Colorful World. Okay, so to start with, we are going to see human eye. As you all know, eye is a very important part of our body, right? So it is an excellent, highly valuable, significant sense organ which helps us to see the wonderful, colorful world. Okay, and now this human eye, it acts as a camera. Okay, takes a picture, that's all. Okay, so now let us go for the important parts of human eye. To start with, first one is cornea. Okay, what is cornea? See, this is cornea, the outer, this part is there, no? So this one is cornea. Okay, so what is that? The light enters, the light is entering here in this direction. Okay, therefore the light enters the eye through a thin membrane called cornea. Okay, and which forms a transparent bulge. Here you see there is a bulging is there now, in front of the eyeball. In front of, this is an eyeball, this is eyeball. Okay, so it forms a transparent bulge in front of the eyeball. Okay, so what actually, see, most of the light, when the light enters, there will be some refraction. Most of the refraction of light rays entering the eye occurs at the outer surface of cornea itself. It gets refracted. Okay, it gets refracted near where? Here at the outer surface of cornea itself. Now, okay, now, so next very important part is what is called iris. See, behind the cornea here, this one, okay, there is a dark muscular diaphragm. Diaphragm is shutter-like. Okay, diaphragm that controls the size of the pupil. This is the pupil. Okay, therefore that controls the size of the pupil. I think you know pupil in our eye, na? So the pupil actually, it can nicely expand, it can contract, expand, everything. Okay, so how? By means of iris. Therefore iris, at what it does, it is just like a dark muscular diaphragm that controls the size of the pupil. And this pupil, what it does, it regulates, it controls and regulates the amount of light entering the eye. Very important. Pupil, what it does, it regulates and it controls. It controls, what is that? The amount of light that is entering into the eye. Okay, so the pupil is, now you know what is a pupil. Next to that, this is very important here. See, this is, what is that? The crystalline lens. This is nothing but the crystalline eye lens. It is an eye lens. Okay, crystalline lens, which is convex lens. Okay, what is that used for? Used to focus the light coming from the object. Object will be in front of the eye. So the light which is coming from the object is focused. Okay, if the object may be at different distances, no, it's not that you can see at a time. Okay, nearby object, far off object, whatever is that. Okay, you can see. Therefore, the crystalline eye lens is used to focus the light that is coming from the object at different distances. Okay, thereby forming the image of the object on the retina. Retina. What is a retina here? It acts as a screen. It acts as a screen. Which acts as a light sensitive screen. Retina, it acts as a light sensitive screen. So the image of the object will be, whatever we are seeing, the image of that object will be formed on the retina. Are you following? Okay, therefore, which type of image is it actually producing? If you see the eye lens which is a convex lens. Of course, on seeing that, I think you know convex and concave lenses. Last chapter you would have studied now. Okay, therefore, therefore, what is convex? This is convex lens. Okay, and this is convex. Convex lens is a converging lens, and concave lens, it is a diverging lens. Everything it is a concave lens, correct? So, therefore, here eye lens is a convex lens which forms a real inverted image on the retina. Real and inverted image on the retina. Okay, but we are able to see, we are not seeing all the objects upside down, no. We are seeing only erect objects, is it? Therefore, what is a retina here? So, the eye lens actually it forms a real inverted image on the retina. Fine. But what is the retina? Retina is a delicate membrane. This retina is there, no? It is a delicate membrane which actually contains very large number of light sensitive cells. Light sensitive cells. Okay. Therefore, once the image is formed on the retina, what happens? Image, that is which image? Real inverted image will be formed on the retina by the eye lens, right? Okay, once it is formed on the retina, the light sensitive cells, these these cells, because the retina contains so many number of light sensitive cells, innumerable number of light sensitive cells are there. And these cells, once the image is formed, immediately the light sensitive cells get activated. Okay, and it generates electrical signal. It generates electrical signals. Are you following? And now what happens? And these signals, once the electrical signals are formed, these signals, okay, reach the brain now. The signals, once it is formed, the image is formed. Once the image is formed on the retina, image is formed by what? By the crystalline eye lens. Okay, and that image is a inverted real image. Okay, it is formed on the retina. The retina, actually it has so many number of light sensitive cells. Once the image is formed on the retina, these cells become active. They become active, thereby generating electrical signals. And these signals reach the brain through what? The optic nerve. Through this optic nerve. Are you following? So, through this optic nerve, the signals they reach the brain. Okay, fine. Now, the brain, what it does? It interprets the electric signal. Okay, this electrical signal, it interprets the electrical signal in such a way that we can see the image, okay, which is erect. Which is erect image. We can see only erect image and the same size image on of the object as the object. Are you following? So, very important. On retina, real inverted image is formed. Then light sensitive cells becomes active. It forms electrical signal. And these electrical signal reaches, they reach the brain through optic nerve. And the brain's duty, you see, what it does, it interprets the electrical signal in such a way that you can see, okay, the image. Which image? Not a inverted image, but erect image you can see. Okay, on the retina only inverted image is formed, but because the brain interprets the electrical signal such that you can see the erect image as well as the same size. The size of the image is also not varied, as whatever is the size of the object, like that only you can see. Okay, like that it interprets. Are you following? So, these are therefore, now for what are all this one we have seen, cornea is over, iris, pupil, you have seen, crystalline lens we have seen, then retina now you know, and what is optic nerve. Okay, what is optic nerve? That also you know. Optic nerve, here it is optic nerve which takes the electrical signal to the brain. Okay, and these are all the important parts that you have seen now. Next one is what is called aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. What is that? See, what is aqueous humor? It is between the cornea and eye lens. See, between the cornea and eye lens. I think you are able to see. It is the cornea and this is eye. I am ticking. Okay, it is the eye lens. Between that, see, this is the aqueous humor. Here is your aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is here. Are you following? Therefore, that it is a clear, watery fluid. It is a clear, watery fluid, okay, which bathes, that is lubricates and nourishes the lens. Aqueous humor, it is meant for, it is not a watery fluid which lubricates or bathes, okay, and nourishes the lens, because what is that? It should be, what is it? Bathes means what is that? It is lubricating, okay, and nourishes the lens and maintains pressure within the lens. Maintains the pressure within the lens. Is it clear? Since, okay, the lens as well, see here, the lens as well as the cornea. Lens and cornea, they have no blood supply. They have no blood supply. The aqueous humor performs blood's job of carrying nutrients to those structures. That is why it is nourishing, I told you. Okay, it nourishes the eye lens. Therefore, why? Because they don't have, what is that, blood supply. Okay, therefore, aqueous humor performs blood's job of carrying nutrients to those structures. Are you following? So, this is about aqueous humor. Then, vitreous humor. What is that vitreous humor? It is, see, vitreous humor, this one is there here. Vitreous humor, this one. Okay, therefore, what is that? This is actually, it is a clear gel-like, you know that it is like, we can say, egg white, like egg white. Okay, gel-like mass found in the rear part of the eyeball. Here, somewhere, the rear part of the eyeball, between the lens and the retina. Between the lens and the retina, it is there. Okay, and what is the purpose? Which helps in maintaining the shape of the eye. Which helps in maintaining the shape of the eye and also absorbs shocks to the eye. It absorbs, immediately it absorbs the shocks, if at all anything. Okay, right. Next one is ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles, now we will see. Is it clear up to vitreous humor? I think you are clear. Okay, ciliary muscles, what for? We will see now. For that only, I want to introduce one for explaining or understanding this. Let us go to the next topic, what is called the power of accommodation. Power of accommodation. Power of accommodation of eye lens. Okay, actually, what is power of accommodation of eye lens? What is it? See, for that. See, actually, the eye lens is there, no? This crystalline lens. It is made up of fibrous and jelly-like material. Jelly-like material. Okay, and see the ciliary. See here. Therefore, the eye lens can be, okay, the ciliary muscles are there, no, they are, see, in both the sides of the top and the bottom. See here, there are so many, what is it called, ciliary muscles. And the ciliary muscles, what it does, okay, with the help of ciliary muscles, the eye lens can bulge. Eye lens can bulge, okay. It is not that the size of the eye lens is the same always. Okay, eye lens can bulge nicely, it will bulge like that. At the same time, it can even elongate like this. Size, length will not change, but what is that? The eye lens can be bulged, or even it can nicely, it can become thick or thin. Okay, you can nicely, eyelids can bulge or elongate with the help of what is called the ciliary muscles. Okay, so the ciliary muscles actually are very, very important in changing the size of the eyelids. It can, okay, so but with the see, that's very, very important, but you cannot what is the need for change of size of the eyelids? For example, if you are looking, if you are seeing the object which is very close to you, for the close means, for example, you see which is at a distance of nearly about 50 centimeter in front of you, an object. Okay, so you can nicely see the object, and if you are bringing the object, therefore, okay, that time if you are bringing the object closer to our eye, okay, so right from 50 you are bringing 40. Okay, when it was at 50, what is the image is formed on the retina? You are able to see the image properly. When you are bringing it to 40, that time also you are able to see the object, which means its image is formed already on the retina. Okay, right, very good. Therefore, every time you are bringing the object very closer to the eye, from 50, from 40, from 50 to 40, 40 to 30, every time the image is formed exactly on the retina. Okay, this is not possible for our man-made lens, convex lens, which is in our lab. It is not possible. Okay, here you are bringing the object very closer. So accordingly, the eye lens, what it does, the size of the eye lens will change. It becomes thickened. When the object is very close, coming closer means it becomes thickened. As it becomes thickened, what happens? Thick lenses, they have small focal length. Okay, as it becomes thick, what will happen? The focal length of the lens, okay, f will decrease. Focal length will also, what is that? Thick lenses are having less focal length. Okay, so as you are bringing closer, what happens? The eye lenses, the ciliary, with the help of ciliary muscles, nicely, what it does, it contracts. Ciliary muscles, it helps in contracting the eye lens. Therefore, as the eyelids is contracting, so the focal length will also, what is that, decrease. Okay, so therefore this will happen. Therefore, the image will be formed on the retina without any problem. You can see the what is that object very clearly up to what? If your eye, consider that your eye is a normal eye. Your eye is a normal eye. You don't have any what is that, a defect. There is no need for you to wear spectacles. Okay, so that is what is called a normal eye. So normal eye, you are keeping the object at 50 centimeter, then at 40 centimeter. Okay, then at 30 centimeter, even at 30 centimeter, you are able to see the object very clearly, right? Very fine. Then after that, you are bringing the object at 25 centimeter. 25 centimeter also, you are able to see the object very clearly, which means that, what is that? The eye lens has nicely bulged in order to form the image of the object on the retina. Clearly, it forms nicely. Okay, there is no problem at all for the eye lens. Okay, but when you are, okay, bringing the object, okay, less than 25 centimeter, the eye is a normal eye, I am telling you, okay, eye is a normal eye without any defect. When you are bringing the object very, at a distance which is less than 25 centimeter. So for 25 centimeter, what happens? Okay, the eye lens, it is pity. What happens? It will bulge even more. See, it has its own capacity. You cannot bulge the lens to a very large extent. There is a limit for it. Okay, so what limit? Only up to 25 centimeter. When you are keeping the object, then comfortably the eye lens will form the image on the retina. It doesn't have any problem. Okay, but once you are bringing the object which is less than 25 centimeter, problem begins now. Okay, eye lens is very pity. What it does, it will try, even now it will, ciliary muscles, it tries to contract the eye lens so that it will bulge even more. Okay, at the time what will happen, you see, you keep your pen okay, very close to your eye. It is less than 25 centimeter. If you keep one pen, okay, and you keep the pen, right, okay, I'll tell you, at 30 centimeter or 40 centimeter, bring the pen, that is object now, pen is object, bring the pen, okay, closer, 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 closer to eye, okay, up to 25 centimeters, there won't be any problem, your eye is very comfortable, okay, okay, keep the object, I will perform the image, I don't have any problem in forming the image on the retina, okay, but when you are bringing the object less than 20, very close to eye, okay, therefore eye lens, okay, it will try its best to form the image on the retina, no problem, okay, so you are able to see something, okay, you are able to see the pen, even if it is kept very close to the, what is an eye, okay, why? Because eye lens is trying its best to form the image on the retina, but what happens, it is straining a lot. It is straining a lot. Up to 25 centimeter, no problem. If the object is kept up to 25. If you are bringing even closer to that, less than 12, the distance, okay, therefore, that 25 centimeter is there, no, it is what is called least distance of distinct vision. Least distance of distinct vision. Okay, that is what is called D. Usually it is called D. Okay, this is the distance, least distance up to which the object, distance of the object, okay, up to which what you can see the image, the clear image will be formed by the eye lens on the retina so that you can see comfortably without straining the eye. But if the distance, okay, if your distance is less than the least distance of distinct vision, distance of the object, distance is what is that? If the distance of the object, okay, yes, less than the least distance of distinct vision. Now, what happens? I will try to form the image so that it contracts, and what happens with that? That actually strains, and therefore, definitely you will get a pain in your eye. Okay, so that is, which is not good. You are not supposed, that's why, okay, you are not supposed to read the books by keeping it very close to your eye. Why? Because you are straining your eye. Okay, eye is what is that? It is trying a lot. It won't keep, okay, if you are keeping 25 centimeters, less than 25 centimeters, I will not form the image. It won't say, but pity, it tries to form, but that strains the eye lens. It strains the eye so that you will get a pain. Is it clear? So this for a normal eye, what is that 25 centimeter? What is that? That is nothing but 25 centimeter. This 25 centimeter is what is called for normal eye. Therefore, I can say for normal eye. I think normal means what is that? Eye without any defect. Those who are not wearing any spectacles. Okay. Therefore, for normal eye, okay, the near point means what is that? The near point is the distance of the object, okay, the least distance at which you can keep the object so that the image will be formed very clearly. So that is normal eye near point. What is the near point? Near point is nothing but 25 centimeter. 25 centimeter. Are you following, children? So it is and now, okay, it is for the object which is very close, kept close. That is, so you are not supposed to what is that? Keep the object less than 25 centimeter. Why? Because it strains the eye. Fine, very good. Now, what about if for the same normal eye, if you are seeing the object which is at a very large distance? Okay, the outside, you are inside, outside there's some tree is there. So if you are seeing at a very large distance, the object which is at a very large distance, that time what will do? The ciliary muscles are there, no? The ciliary muscles, what it does, it nicely stretches the lens. Muscle, they stretch the lens. Nice. Whenever stretching means the eye lens become very thin. Eyelids become very thin. Once eye lens is thin means, then thin lens means what is that? The focal length will be more. For thin lens, focal length is more. For thick lens, focal length is less. Just you have it, okay? Therefore, what happens? So, the object is at very large distance. So, what happens to see that object? Ciliary muscles immediately what it will do? Because it has to focus that object on the retina. The eye lens duty, it has to focus that object which is at infinity. That is what is infinite. Okay, at a very large distance. Okay, so it has to be focused. The object, the image of that object has to be brought to on the retina by the eye lens. So for that, eye lens should have more focal length, less focal length. So what immediate ciliary muscles nicely it is stretching the eyelid. दोनों side में है ना ciliary muscles. So what it does, it is stretching, it contracting, stretching. Everything is done of eye lens is done by ciliary muscle. Okay, so now it stretches nicely, so eye lens will become very thin, so that the image will be eye lens. Now it forms the image of the very far off object, okay, on the retina. Okay, so you can see the nearby objects, you can see the far off objects very clearly. Why? Because of the bulging and stretching of the eye lens by changing the focal length of the eye lens. Okay, right. Now, therefore, for normal eye, okay, for normal eye, okay, what is the far point? Far point means that the maximum distance of the object that you can, whose image can be, clear image can be formed on the retina. Okay, therefore, far point. What is a far point of a normal eye? It is infinity. It is infinity. Are you following? Infinity, very large distance you are keeping, your object is there, you can very nicely see the image by, the eye lens will form the image of that object on the retina without any problem. Comfortably it will produce the image for a normal eye if the object is at infinity. Therefore, far point of a normal eye is infinity. Are you following, children? Now come to power of accommodation, because this introduction is very much required for defining that. Okay, so what is power of accommodation? Therefore, see, the power of accommodation of the eye lens is, okay, it is the ability of the eye lens. It is the ability of the eye lens to, okay, it is the ability of the eye lens to change its focal length. Why? To contract or elongate. It has to contract or it has to elongate depending upon the distance of the object. Just now we have seen. So that is what is called power of accommodation. What is power of accommodation of eye lens? Power of accommodation of eye lens, it is the ability of the eye lens to, what is that? Change its focal length, increase or decrease. Okay, to change its focal length. Okay, so as to form, what for? Change its focal length, so as to form the image on the retina, image of the object on the retina. Okay, therefore, how to properly, therefore, what is that? It is the power of accommodation of the eye lens. It is the ability of the eye lens to change its focal length in accordance with the distance of the object. Change its focal length in accordance with the distance of the object, so as to form its clear image. Its clear image on the retina. On the retina. Is it clear? Are you following, children? Therefore, once again, what is power of accommodation? Power of accommodation, okay, it is the ability of the eye lens. Power of accommodation of the eye lens. It is the ability of the eye lens to change its focal length in accordance with the distance of the object, so as to form its clear image. Whose clear image? The clear image of the object on the retina without straining the eye. Without straining the eyes. Are you following? Okay. Well, what is straining the eye, children? Straining the eye means, what is that? You will feel you will feel some, what to say? the pain. If you are straining means definitely you will have some pain in your eye. So if you are comfortable, if eye lens is comfortable, you will not feel any pain. The eye lens is what is stretched very largely, very beyond a limit, or it is bulged beyond the limit, then definitely you are straining the eye, which is not good for the eye lens, health of the eye. Are you following? Okay, now see, I just want to tell you here one very important iris. This iris, what is the purpose of that? Is, I told you what is iris. Iris is meant for behind. It actually it controls the size of the pupil. Correct? It controls the size of the pupil. See here, that is shutter. Here it is iris na. That is opening is there no? Opening है ना? ये दोनों के बीच में ये opening है ना? That is very important. Okay, that it controls the size of the pupil. What is pupil? Pupil controls and regulates the amount of light entering the eye. Correct? So now I'll tell you one small example. What is that? See, if you feel, for example, what is how iris is very important. Okay, because it nicely acts as a shutter. Okay, so for example, you see, if you are on a sunny day, if you are on a ground, you are playing in the ground, okay, and therefore that time what happens, immediately after playing, you are entering into a dark room, you are entering into the house. Okay, therefore what happens, once you enter, immediately everything will be dark, you won't be able to see anything. Hope you are following. Okay, so why? Because you are, so far you were in the sunlight, you are playing, you are in the ground. Okay, therefore sunlight, plenty of light is there. So now immediately what is that, all of a sudden from there you are entering into a dark room. That time you won't be able to see anything in the room. Okay, after some time, it will take some time, after some time only slowly you will see what is there in the room. Okay, what is the reason for that? The reason here I can explain this here, iris place. See why? Because once you are in the what is that, sun, that is outside. Okay, on the sun, what is that, on midday, you are somewhere, you are outside. Okay, plenty of light is there. So what happens, the iris immediately nicely, it actually it closes. See, iris, no, that it contracts nicely. Okay, therefore what is that, the opening, the pupil, therefore once it contracts, the pupil, no, that opening of the pupil also contracts, okay, therefore it sends only little light, the light which is entering into the eye lens will be less. Why? Because plenty of light is available, that much is not required. Therefore what it does, it allows only little, what is that, whichever is necessary, that light only is entering into the eye. Okay, therefore that is why pupil controls and regulates the amount of light entering the eye. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, therefore what happens when the light is very bright and you are outside on a sunny day. Okay, therefore what happens, iris contracts the pupil. Okay, so less light enters into the eye. Okay, but therefore it contracts the pupil. The pupil opening is very less. All of a sudden, when you enter into the dark room, what happens? Okay, iris immediately, what it does, it has to expand. Why? Because there dark room, light is not there. So iris, it expands the pupil maximum. Expands the pupil to the maximum so that more light enters into the eye. Are you following? But it takes some time. It takes immediately, it cannot. You were outside, okay, a lot of light, so iris nicely, what is that, contracts. Okay, so that less light enters into the eye. But all of a sudden when you are entering into dark room, okay, what happens, within for some few seconds you won't be able to see anything. Why? Because iris is there, iris expands the pupil to a maximum. So for that it takes some time, slight. So immediately after some few seconds, what will you will be normal. Why? Because the pupil nicely, what is it, opens nicely. So what is that? It opens, so it sends it, what is that, it, so more light is entering into the eye. More light is entering into the, whatever light is in the dim room, whatever dim room is dim. Okay, not, you can say dark room, dim room, you can say. Okay, dim room, there is some light. Okay, therefore whichever light is there, everything, it will allow the light, okay, into the pupil, so that you will be able to see at least, what is that, some objects, where is what, you will be able to see. But all of a sudden, once you enter, you won't. Why? Because that pupil was very, very small, it contracts. Okay, the opening is very small. Then once you enter here, the opening will widen, so that it allows the light to, more light to enter into it, and hence you will be comfortable after some time. Is it clear? So that is why that what is that, the contraction of pupil and elongation of that opening, that is this opening, it's shutter, like the iris acts like a shutter. Okay, hope you're following this. Is it clear, children? Okay, this is about what is that, parts of eye and how it functions, everything. And now next one is, we are going to see what is the defects of eye. Okay, what are all eye defects we are going to see, okay, in the next class. Okay.